Tyler the Creator, a rap genius, a fashion icon, and possibly one of the world's most unique car collectors. Who else showcases a rare 1938 Rolls-Royce like it's a Hot Wheels? This man has freestyled about his rides on Funk Flex, and his garage is a testament to his eccentricity. Get ready, because we're about to delve into some of the most uniquely rare cars Tyler the Creator has ever owned. Tyler the Creator's BMW E30 M3 is a prime example of stupidly unique. Originally in Alpine White, this car got a glow-up with a creamy respray. Why? Stock is boring, and Tyler likes his cars with a touch of weirdness. The interior features a custom mix of blue and black, with the wheels donning white aftermarket stunners. The man likes his rides clean, yet different. The E30 was not just a car, it was a racing legend, built to homologate for racing. BMW had to put together 5,000 of these to legally dominate the competition in DTM and Group A touring races. It burst onto the scene in 1986 with a 2.3-liter inline-4 engine, pushing anywhere from 192 to 238 horsepower, depending on the region. This may sound modest, but when you realize this thing weighs as much as a paperclip and handles like a precision instrument, you understand its true power. Tyler flexes this machine around the city like it's a trophy, and for good reason. It's not some overproduced muscle car, it's a racing legend. The M3 is a relic from when cars weren't bloated with tech, but built to just go, turn, and win races. He's even rapped about his E30 in one of his freestyles, proving this is more than just a car to him.
And that E30 Beamer that you ain't seen since you was a teener back in 91 when they was doing EMP&D at the arena, Macarena, Hana, Jana, Shada.
If you want one, get ready to fork over 6 figures, because good ones are creeping past $100,000. We're only getting started. The next cars on this list are absolute unique machines, so don't even think about clicking away. While we're here, smash that like button and subscribe, because we've got even more wild rides coming your way. Plus, you don't want to miss our next car collection. Imagine pulling up to a stoplight in a BMW that sounds like it just finished bench pressing a semi-truck. That's the E92 M3. Tyler had one, and it was something truly special. The bright white paint is absolutely blinding. The roar of that naturally aspirated V8 is enough to make small children cry and grown men reconsider their life choices. But what made Tyler's M3 truly unique was that it was one of only 40 Frozen Silver competition editions. This beast was packed with 414 horsepower and could launch itself from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. One of the best things about this M3 is that it had a 6-speed manual. You know, one of those old school foot dancing contraptions that scares off teenagers who grew up on automatic transmissions? Sure, there was an optional dual clutch auto, but real men shift their own gears. On the body, it was pure aggression. It had a hood bulge, fender vents, and a lowered stance, making it a car that always announced its presence everywhere it went. Inside, it was plush enough to make you forget that BMWs love breaking down at the worst possible moment. Leather seats, iDrive infotainment, and enough space in the back to store bad decisions. Handling was like a dream, well, or a nightmare, depending on your skill level. A limited slip differential, advanced suspension, and enough grip to rip your face off in a corner meant this thing could easily tear up a track or a back road. BMW purists cried when the E92 went V8, but they shut up real fast when they heard it scream to 8,300 RPM. Have you ever wanted a car that's old enough to have a midlife crisis, but still cool enough to be the life of the party? That's the 1990 E30 BMW 325i. Tyler had one, and just like his music, it was a little weird, a little classy, and a whole lot of fun. This kind of car makes grown men go misty-eyed and mutter, "They don't make them like they used to." With a 2.5-liter straight 6 under the hood pumping out 168 horsepower, this thing wasn't going to win any drag races against modern minivans, but that's not the point. The 325i is all about feel, that delicate balance of power, precision, and just enough sketchiness to keep things interesting. It could do 0 to 60 in about 7.8 seconds, respectable considering it was born at a time when shoulder pads and cassette tapes were all the rage. The 5-speed manual made it the perfect weapon for carving on back roads, or, in Tyler's case, for absolutely thrashing around in videos and probably scaring the life out of his friends. It wasn't as powerful as the M3, but that didn't matter. It had character. The kind of car that makes you want to drive with the windows down, blasting old school hip hop while pretending you're in the 80s. Oh, and Tyler being Tyler wasn't just about to own a boring stock one. His had red stripes, because why not? Unfortunately, Tyler gave his away at his Camp Flog Gnaw Carnival. Tyler went beyond raw, race-bred machines. He also has a thing for rolling around like an oil tycoon. What better way to do this than in a green Rolls-Royce Cullinan, the only SUV that makes you question whether you're driving or floating on a cloud made of money. Under the hood lies a twin-turbocharged 6.75-liter V12, making over 500 horsepower. Weighing in at 5,600 pounds, somehow it glides over roads smoother than your jazz records. Tyler has been spotted pulling up in this beast everywhere, from music videos to real-life road trips.
I just cut some fresh lemons with the sugar. Lemon in my A, lemon in my L's, call them booger.
He once referenced Rolls-Royce in Lumberjack, casually dropping lines like, "Rolls-Royce pull-up, black boy hop-out." Subtle flex, right? Compared to the Phantom, the Cullinan sits higher, making you feel like you own not just the road, but the entire world. Inside are leather, wood, real metal accents, and enough silence to hear your own thoughts. Rolls-Royce even gave buyers the option of a glass partition between the back seats and the trunk. Tyler loves this thing so much, he's been seen in multiple colors, white, dark green, and black. At $400,000 a pop, that's some serious commitment. A man of contrasts, Tyler didn't just stop at a BMW race car and a rolling palace. He also went straight to hypercar insanity. He actually bought a 2014 Ferrari LaFerrari. This thing cost him somewhere between $4 and $5 million. And guess what? He's rapped about wanting one since 2016, saying, "I really want a LaFerrari, can you lower the price down?" Ferrari didn't budge on the price, but Tyler made so much money that he eventually bought one in 2024. His LaFerrari is a 2014 model, painted in Bianco Fuji with a black interior. With black wheels and Scuderia shields, this car looks like a stormtrooper that hit the gym and got into Formula 1. It packs a naturally aspirated 6.3-liter V12, making 789 horsepower, plus an electric motor adding another 160, bringing the total to 949 horsepower. It's a hybrid. Ferrari's F1-derived High-Curse system was designed purely to make it faster. It goes 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds and 0 to 186 miles per hour in 15 seconds, with a top speed over 217 miles per hour. Only 499 coupes exist, and Ferrari didn't just let anyone buy one. You had to own a bunch of Ferraris first, be best friends with Maranello, and probably have Enzo Ferrari's ghost give you a nod of approval. The car already made an appearance in his music video for Noid, and knowing Tyler, it won't just sit in a garage collecting dust. If you ever hear a banshee scream followed by the blur of a white LaFerrari, just assume it's Tyler out for a joyride, grinning ear to ear. Tyler has been spotted in a Ferrari Enzo, but whether he actually owns it is a mystery. It's like Bigfoot, but cooler. If he does have one, it's easily the crown jewel of his collection, because the Enzo is the kind of car that makes normal supercars look like glorified go-karts. The Ferrari Enzo is equipped with a 6-liter naturally aspirated V12, producing 660 horsepower. 0 to 60 in just 3.3 seconds, with a top speed of 218 miles per hour. Those are the kind of statistics that make grown men weak in the knees, and financial advisors very, very nervous. When Ferrari built the Enzo, they weren't messing around. This thing was a no-compromise F1-inspired, speed-obsessed masterpiece. It had carbon ceramic brakes, a 6-speed F1-style automated manual transmission, and aerodynamics so extreme they made a fighter jet look jealous. It even had doors that opened like some sci-fi spaceship, because regular doors are for peasants. This car is so legendary that even owning one is a flex. Only 400 were ever made, and if you bought one new in 2003 for $659,000, congratulations, you're now sitting on a multi-million-dollar investment. Today, Enzos go for anywhere between $2 million and $2.8 million. That V12 has the kind of noise that makes you believe in a higher power. No turbochargers, no hybrid nonsense, just pure, unfiltered mechanical symphony. If Tyler actually owns one, he's officially reached baller status. If he doesn't, well, he should. If you're scratching your head wondering what the heck a Lancia is, don't worry, most Americans have no clue either. Imagine a boxy little hatchback with the soul of a raging bull and the reflexes of a caffeinated cat. That's the Delta Integrale. This thing was bred for one purpose: domination. In the late 80s and early 90s, it absolutely embarrassed every other rally car on the planet. It won 6 consecutive manufacturers' championships. Tyler, being a man of taste, didn't settle for just one. He got at least 2. A sky blue one he's shown off in the What's Your Name music video, cruising through some scenic mountain roads with luggage strapped on top like he's headed to a bougie campsite. Then there's his dark blue Delta, which only made a quick cameo in Lemonhead before disappearing into the ether. Maybe he keeps one for joyriding and the other one for staring at while sipping overpriced tea. With a 2-liter turbocharged engine pushing out over 200 horsepower, it launches from 0 to 60 in just 5.7 seconds. That's quicker than some modern sports cars. Plus, it's got all-wheel drive, so Tyler can drift through corners like a lunatic without immediately wrapping himself around a tree. If you've ever wanted to know what it feels like to drive a rabid squirrel, get yourself a Delta Integrale. Just be ready to sell an organ to afford one, because prices have skyrocketed thanks to folks finally realizing how ridiculous these things are. A Fiat 131 is about as exciting as a soggy slice of bread, unless you hand it over to the lunatics at Abarth, who then turn it into a steroid-infused rally monster. Tyler, being the connoisseur of the absurd that he is, went and got himself one, but not just any 131 Abarth. His is painted in an obnoxiously perfect shade of baby pink. This thing looks like it just rolled off a Hot Wheels production line. It's got the wide fender flares, the scooped hood, the massive spoiler, all things that make a 1970s economy car look like it just robbed a bank and is running from the cops. Originally built for Group 4 rallying, the Fiat 131 Abarth won 3 Constructors' Championships and helped legendary drivers like Walter Roll and Marco Allen write their names in the history books. With a 2-liter inline-4 engine that, in race trim, could push up to 240 horsepower, this thing was a rocket back in the day. Even the street version wasn't slow. It packed 138 horsepower. The best part of it is that Tyler added some Toyo tires on it with bright lettering that says, "Call me if you get lost," just in case anyone was unsure about whose car they were gawking at. Some people might think it's over the top. Those people have no idea what fun is. This car is like wearing a hot pink tuxedo to a black tie event. It's loud, it's ridiculous, and it's completely perfect. When most people think of Rolls-Royce, they picture chauffeured rides, fancy cigar lounges, and billionaires sipping on expensive whiskey while looking down on the rest of us. Tyler, the creator, took one look at that stereotype and said, "Yeah, but what if I put a bike rack on it?" He owns a 1938 Rolls-Royce Wraith, one of only 491 ever built. This thing is pure pre-war luxury, handcrafted by British coach builders who probably had tea breaks every 20 minutes. The Wraith is so refined, it was literally designed to be one of the quietest cars ever made. Meanwhile, Tyler is out here contemplating strapping a mountain bike to the back of it. Under that massive hood sits a 4.3-liter inline-6, and while Rolls-Royce was too fancy to publish horsepower numbers back in the day, they just called it adequate. It was more than enough to waft around in absolute comfort. This was a car you floated in. Everything about it was designed for elegance, from its independent front suspension to the adjustable shock absorbers that softened up the ride at higher speeds. So why does Tyler own one? Because he can. Because it's weird. Because there's something absolutely hilarious about a guy known for rapping about skateboards and rebellious chaos, casually pulling up in a car built for British nobility. Would it surprise anyone if he actually did slap that bike rack on top and took it on a road trip just to mess with people? Not at all. That's exactly the kind of energy he brings to his car collection. So, which one of Tyler's rides is the ultimate flex? Drop your pick in the comments. If you enjoyed this video on Tyler's eccentric taste in cars, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we've got even more insane car collections coming soon. Don't miss out.